Hey everyone, it's Laura. Today I'm going to show you my dynamic lower body warm-up. I do this before I squat, before I deadlift, before I hip thrust, before all of that good stuff. There are a few static stretches in there, so I can just start to release any tension, create that mind-muscle connection with what I'm about to work out, and also lots of dynamic movements, so I can get the blood flowing, prepare my body for all the heavy weights I'm about to lift. So follow along with me, it needs no more introduction, let's go. Alright, first up we're going to do some lunges. So you can see the position there, you're probably quite familiar with this stretch already. Going to hold that for about count of 5, then send your hips back, and then I like to do a little dynamic movement back and forth between the two. Switch over to the other side. Love these, see if you can sink down nice and low. And then again, movements back and forth, stretching out your hamstring. Yeah, don't worry if you lose your balance. I do sometimes. Awesome. So then from there, we're going to go into a butterfly pose, I believe it's called. So soles of your feet together, and we're just going to start opening up our hips. So you bend forward at your hips here, keep your back straight, and now we're going to do some open and closes. I want to call them flutters because we're in butterfly pose. But yeah, anyway, 10 of those. Start warming up everything. And then we're going to come down onto our backs, a little lie down, and then stretch out our glutes. So I've put my right foot there up over my left knee, basically, keeping my feet flexed. And you can stay there how it was, but I like a deeper stretch, so I pull everything in towards me, basically. And then we're going to do the other side. Pull that in, and you can have a little like rock back and forth here if that feels good. Yeah, just whatever feels good for you. All right, now we're into hip circles, lying down. So I used to, use my hand to like guide my knee round. 10 circles, doesn't matter which direction you go, because we're going to count to 10, and then we're going to go in the other direction. Essentially, I do 10 reps of everything, and all of my static stretches I hold for about the count of 5. So if you do want to hold movements for longer, then do so. Now we're going into hip flexors. So straighten the leg. You're going to have a slight bend in your knee. Keep your foot flexed. Lift that leg up and down. And again, I think you already know, we're going to do 10 reps. Keep breathing. Fantastic. And now on to the other side. So yeah, if you do want to, you can guide your knee around with your hand. I just don't anymore. Make sure you keep your lower back on the mat though. So 10 in the other direction. I do keep my feet flexed as well when I do these. And then from there, almost done. Straighten out and lift up and down for another 10 reps. Keep breathing throughout all of this. Nice fluid movements, like nothing sort of forced. Again, you can have your knee slightly bent in these. Your leg doesn't have to be poker straight. It's all good. It's all good. And then I like to just hug one knee into my chest at a time. Stretch the other leg out while I do it. I just find it's a nice deeper stretch. Bring them both into my chest. I do a little rock forward, backward, side to side, whatever I'm feeling that day. And then we're going to make our way back up onto our feet. And we're going to stretch out our lumbar. So again, you can see my knees are slightly bent. My hands are clasped in front of me. And I'm letting my shoulders curve a little bit. Nothing is forced. It feels really nice. I do a little movement from side to side. and then I let myself fall forward into a hamstring stretch, and then bring your feet at a nice wide stance. And then I like to do a few little, I don't even know what you would call these. Would you call these? But little side to side. There we go. Side lunges. And then from there, standing quad stretches. So again, I think these are pretty self-explanatory, but I'm showing you both angles there, front and the side, just so you get it. Knees are together. If you do need to balance yourself, hold onto a wall, a sturdy piece of equipment in the gym, do that. And then, we're going into my favorites, hip circles, hands on hips, feet hip width apart, soft knees, and just draw some nice big circles. Now they look absolutely ridiculous, to be honest. And they look quite exaggerated, but you're not forcing your body into a big, exaggerated circle. It's just what feels good. So we're doing 10 in one direction, 10 in the other direction. Yeah, you probably will feel stupid doing these in the gym, but who cares? They're good for you, and health is more important than what other people think, or if you feel silly, it's all good, don't worry, because now we're going to go into knee circles. So we're going to keep your knees slightly bent, feet come together for these, and I just like to guide my knees, just not put my hands on my knees, just above my knees on my thighs. So again, 10 in one direction, and now we're doing 10 in the other direction. So if you felt silly doing hip circles, I'm so sorry, but honestly do it. It's worth it. Warming up your joints, joint health, everything. It is worth it. Now we're going to do hip circles, but standing. So these are basically like what we were doing when we were lying on our backs. You can see my foot is still flexed, and you're just really feeling like it's just your hip socket that's moving. It's not necessarily a leg movement, it's all in that joint. So 10 in one direction, 10 in the other direction. And again, these should be like nice gentle movements. Nothing should feel forced here. So just do what you can. Don't mind my awkward left hand as I try to figure out the best way to balance myself. It was I was trying to show you the best angle. So you can see what I was doing with these, but you do want to be next to something because you probably will lose your balance. So 10 in one direction, 10 in the other direction. We're almost there now. You can do one last thing for our hip flexors. So shift your weight onto one leg, flex the other foot, and we're just going to swing that leg back and forth. And again, this isn't a forced jerking movement. This is just a nice kind of release. This again is for your hip flexors, especially if you're sat down all day at work, which to be fair, most of us are. These are really good. So one side and then the other side. And then that's pretty much it. Again, if you want to go back and repeat any of these, then please do. And then I like to come into, I don't even know, is this called a frog pose? I feel like a frog when I do it. So keep your back straight, chest up. If you sort of struggle to keep your balance, put your hands on the floor there. If you've got super flexibility, you can wrap them around your ankles. I like to just have them in front of me, like I'm a nice little meditating frog. And then I usually will do a few sets of either reverse lunges and then go into my first lift, or I will do walking lunges. And then I also like to do a little glute kickback with my walking lunges as well, depending on what I'm working that day, how my body feels. So I hope you loved that. Let me know how you get on, try it, and let me know what you want to see next.